Now in this one, number 47, we can see that we've got two fractions with different denominators. So we're going to begin by getting the LCD, and we know we do that by factoring these two denominators. So let's do that. So we're going to get, let's just rewrite them completely. We'll get x plus 3 over, all right, how about x and x? Now that 32, I'm thinking an 8 and a 4, and I think I want a positive 8 minus 4, that'll give us a positive 4, plus, we'll get an x plus 5 over, we'll get an x and x, and for 72, I'm thinking a 9 and an 8. So a 9 and an 8. I think we want the 9 to be positive, negative, the 8 to be positive. So now I can write our LCD. The LCD here is going to be, we have an x plus 8. In fact, I've got an x plus 8 here and an x plus 8 here, but I write it only once and to the higher exponent, and both these exponents are just ones. Then we also have this x minus 4, and we also have this x minus 9. Now I'm going to circle that so I don't have to rewrite it every time, and I can find it. Now what I'm going to do, the way I like to do these is I'm going to write a big fraction bar, and I'm just going to write LCD on the denominator, and I've got that LCD right here so I can find it easily. Now I'm going to go back to these originals and make any adjustments I have to make. So here's what we'll do. What about this x plus 3? So I'm going to draw that x plus 3, and now look what we've done though. The x plus 3 originally had that denominator. Now it has this denominator. So what's missing? An x minus 9. So you can see that we took the original denominator right here and multiplied it by x minus 9. So to keep this balanced, right, we're really multiplying by 1. I'm going to have to multiply a top by that x minus 9. So let's do that. I'll put parentheses around the x plus 3 because I want all of it. And I want all of it to be multiplied by that x minus 9. That's the missing factor. When you compare these denominators, the old to the new, or the original to the new, the missing factor, if there is one, that's your adjustment factor. Okay, now we've got a plus. So let's write plus. And now what about this x plus 5? So, you know what, I'm going to write parentheses, x plus 5. Now, any adjustment necessary on that? Well, look at the original denominator and compare it to the new. The x minus 9's there, the x plus 8 there. You can see what's missing is the x minus 4. So this original denominator has been multiplied by x minus 4, so we need to multiply this numerator by x minus 4. So that's our critical step. So let's multiply this top out. Just multiply all the way through here and combine terms. So we'll get x squared. Now, negative 9x plus 3x is negative 6x. And then 3 times negative 9 is negative 27. Plus, okay, x times x squared. The outer product, negative 4x, and the inner product, 5x. 5x minus 4x is just plus x. And 5 times negative 4 is negative 20. And that is all over the LCD, which I have right over here, circled. So let's combine like terms here. So we're going to have x squared and another x squared. So we're going to have two of those. 2x squareds, and then x's, negative 6 of them here, plus 1. So we get negative 5x's. And then what about constants? We've got negative 27 minus 20. So minus 47 all over the LCD. Number 69, again, we've got different denominators. So let's begin here by factoring these denominators. So let's just rewrite what we've got. How about 6 over, difference of two squares, right? Factor as conjugates. Z and Z, 2 and 2, make 1 plus, 1 minus. And then minus z plus 6 over, well, let's go with a z and a z. And now for 16 to give us a 6, I'm thinking 8 and 2. 8 and 2, how about minus 8 plus 2? And this will give us our LCD. So our LCD here is z plus 2, z minus 2, and then that's z minus 8. So I'll circle it so we can come back and find it easily. So now we've got our LCD. So I'm going to draw the big fraction bar, just the way I like to do these, a little bit different than is presented in the book. And I've got my LCD right here, so I know what it is. I can just look at it up here and I've got it. Now, what we'll have to do is make adjustments, if possible, or if necessary, to the top. So what about this 6? Any adjustment necessary? Well, let's do this. Compare the original denominator to the new one. Now here's the original, z plus 2, z minus 2, and you can see that it's being multiplied by z minus 8. So if we multiply the denominator by z minus 8, we need to multiply the numerator by z minus 8. So let's adjust that by multiplying by z minus 8. And then we have minus. Let's write a minus in here. Now I'll put a parenthesis. What about this z plus 6? Any change to that one at all? Do we have to adjust that at all? Let's look at the original denominator and compare it to the new one. The z minus 8 is there. The z plus 2 is here. What's missing is the z minus 2. So the adjustment factor is always any factor that's not appearing. So we multiplied, here's the original, here's the new. You can see the original right here is being multiplied by z minus 2. So we need to multiply the top by z minus 2. So I'll do that. Z minus 2. Now let's multiply this entire top out and combine like terms. So we'll get 6z minus 48 minus, now because I got a minus here, I need an extra step. That's just the way it is with minuses. I'm going to multiply this out and then take the minus sign through. So minus all of this. So let's multiply through here. We'll get z squared. Now, what do we get? Minus 2z plus 6z is plus 4z, and then minus 12. And the whole thing's over that LCD. Now I'm going to keep writing LCD until I can't do any more to the top. Now let's send this minus sign through here. So I'll do it up here on the right. So we'll get 6z minus 48, and then the minus sign goes through, minus z squared minus 4z plus 12 all over the LCD. Let's combine some like terms here. So first of all, I'm going to put it in this order here. I've got a negative z squared, so I'm going to put that in this order. Negative z squared, and then we've got 6z minus 4z is plus 2z, and then I've got a minus 48 and a plus 12, which is a negative 36 all over the LCD. Now, we have to at least try to factor this numerator. So let's give this a try. Factor it. Now, the first term in the group is negative. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to take a negative out of here. It makes it a little easier to factor when the quadratic is positive. Now, if I take a negative out, it's going to change all of these signs. So z squared minus 2z plus 36, all of that over the LCD. And now if I try to factor this, okay, there's our minus. We would factor z squared and z. Now the factors of 36, that'll give us a 2. I'm not seeing any. 36 and 1, 18 and 2 doesn't work. 6 and 6 doesn't work. 9 and 4 doesn't work. You know, this thing just does not factor. So I'm going to rewrite this now as, I'm going to claim now that this is our solution. So negative the quantity, z squared minus 2z plus 36, close it, over the LCD. And I'm actually going to write the LCD now because I think I'm done. So it's going to be z plus 2, z minus 2, and z minus 8. Okay, this works just fine. Or in fact, you could have left it up here. Actually right here. We could have left it like that. So I'll just do that. So you could write what we have in the box here, or you could write negative z squared plus 2z minus 36 all over that LCD, which is z plus 2, z minus 2, z minus 8. either one of these is going to work.